Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful Fibercast. Today's date is November 25th, 2016. My name is Lynn and I'm your host, and welcome to an hour of doing things together. This is a virtual sewing bee. This is not a tutorial, as we all know, I hope. For those of you who've been here before, this is just me opening up the Simply Colorful studio and inviting you in to come create with me. I love to have you out there. I love that you're all out there from around the world, so welcome. Whether it's Wendy or Carol or Ann or KK or Kathy or Colleen, I could go on and on. Beth Allen, hi everyone, Chris, Jean Infinity, and beyond. We are going to make an angel, and we're going to talk about Black Friday and Thanksgiving and the fact that we have 1 month left to go before Christmas. So what I have here, you can see first off, for mom, if she's out there, check out the red tablecloth. This is a family heirloom. Why do they spell heirloom with an H? That's my question. But if you can see this, this is a Christmas tablecloth that mom embroidered many years ago. And I have been the lucky recipient of it. And I thought, what a pretty compliment, perfect compliment to the Christmas quilt that we have behind us. And this Christmas quilt was made by a number of our Marathon Quilting Guild members. It was a round robin. And it says, all is bright, and I do love it. And you see, I got the Christmas trees out, and now let's make an angel. This angel is a pattern from the Doll Maker's Journey. Go to www.dollmakersjourney.com/angel, A-N-G-E-L, and you will see it's a free pattern. It is of a posable kneeling angel. And these are the pattern pieces. This is the bottom skirt that I've already made. And I've put little feet, little shoes. And those shoes, it's going to kneel like that. And I'm sorry I don't have a full picture of her. I'm trying to make one that's looks a little different. I'm trying to make her a little more elegant, if the truth be told. And simple. So there's the bottom. Then for her arms, she's going to be praying. So there are two arms that we have to turn and stuff and put onto the body. And then we have to put the head on. And then we also are going to give her some pretty curls. And if we get that far, great. We may hope, if we're lucky, we'll get to the wings. But we'll see how far we get. And we're also going to, so what else are we going to do on today's show? Because 60 minutes, it's amazing what we can get done, and it's amazing how fast it goes. In addition to making our angel, we're going to talk about what angels represent, where they come from. Angel means messenger, so we'll talk more about that. And then we're also going to explore a couple of more photos from the Time 100 photo gallery, and that should round out the hour. I want to take your calls, your emails. Send an email to lmarquidant@gmail.com. Send me pictures. Let me know what you're doing so that I can share it with everyone else. Okay, so I have my tools here. First things first. Oh, and I feel so bad. I saw someone went into an archive Fibercast, one that we did a zippered pouch on. And I don't know when it was or how long ago it was. But the comment was that it really was not a tutorial and it needed to be edited down. And I can imagine how frustrating that would be if you wanted to know how to make a zippered pouch. You certainly don't want to listen to 60 minutes of me. So I can see how I need to be careful with naming Fibercasts. I'm using my forceps. I love these. I think you've seen me use them before. And I put the opening in a slightly different spot on this elbow, by the way. I put it right on the elbow, so it's going to be very exposed. So my sewing is going to have to be very neat. But I did that rather than, it recommended that we put an opening up here near the arm. But I did not want to have to turn this whole corner, this sharp corner, all the way out a little opening there. So I have my opening here. I'm pulling both pieces through, and I will pay the price of having to do a nicer seam, if that makes sense, at the elbow where people will see it. I figure the wings might be there near her her elbows, or I might give her a shawl. We'll see. I really need some smaller forceps. I need to go online and just find a source because these are just a little too big. They're a lot too big. Who am I kidding? Sarah is down on the Cape, so I doubt she's here, but she was the one who turned me on to forceps. Hopefully she's having a nice time, and I hope everyone has had a good Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm pushing the thumb out, and I did clip the corners, or the curves, in and out. So there is one arm that will go like that. Okay, let's twist. Let's do the other one while we're on a roll. That worked. If you want to go to that doll maker's site, you can see that they have a lot of different doll makers patterns for anyone who might be interested. I have no affiliation with them. I just have found it useful as a new doll maker. They have some good beginner patterns. It's good inspiration. It's a little bit, Pinterest is wonderful, but not every picture has the pattern directly associated with it. So if you're really to the point where you want to find something to make, Doll Maker's Journey is a good one. And they have free patterns like this one. And I'm just pulling it inside out. Oops, okay, that's good. I was a little worried about this satiny fabric, but it's holding up very well, at least initially. Just wait till we stuff it really well. There. Oh, so I finished a UFO. I posted it on Simply Colorful. How are your UFOs going? Kelsey, hi Kelsey. I saw your email about knocking off 3 of them. Way to go. Can you believe it's November? I know I said that last week, but yikes. I have pulled out the red scarf. That was another of my UFOs. Oh, who's out there? Jean. Hi, Jean. Jean says, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Love seeing the round robin. Let's make those pressing stations. Amen. Let's do that. So first things first, how was your Thanksgiving? I thought of you. Jean hosted her whole family. And what did you say? You were glad the fire department was on duty yesterday or on call. I doubt you needed the fire department. I bet it was delicious. Anyway, what did you say next? Love seeing the round robin. Well, I'm glad. Do you recognize your round? It was the All is Bright, which is the second round, right around the houses. I love that round robin. Okay, so I'm stuffing this very tightly with just fiber fill because these, I don't want these. Oh, and I forgot a piece. Let's see if we can do this. I think we can. The instructions say to put a pipe cleaner in. I guess just to give it that much more heft, right? And then we'll do the stuffing around it. So I'm going to have to pull out the stuffing I just put in. It'll be a miracle if we get to the wings. And actually, having these pipe cleaners in here will be a godsend because we can then further pose this if we want, if we don't stuff it too thick. Okay, this, let's see if we can just stuff it in there. It might be. They said to put the curved end of my pipe cleaner into, I'm going to take it out, into the hand so that there aren't any sharp pieces sticking out the hand, but yep. Reverse stuffing is never fun. Let's see if this will go in now. Good enough for government work. No offense. You know, so someone's going to tell you something and they say, no offense, but, and you know, they're just going to say something that is offensive. It's a funny saying. Okay. So here we go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I guess Thanksgiving is more of an American holiday, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Retrofitted, we have both of them stuffed with pipe cleaners. Now let's fill them in and get moving on to another piece of the body. Oh, we had a nice textile tarts. Did I tell everyone? I guess we've done textile tarts last week, haven't we? So we talked about that. Oh. I guess now is time for the craft fairs. Are you getting out there and seeing some good crafts? I think most of the fall quilt shows are done, but in the quilt retreats. Trying to get stuffing on the outside of this pipe cleaner. Okay, there we go. Everyone knows what a pipe cleaner is, right? It's a piece of wire covered with fuzzies. Sometimes they're called chenille sticks. If it's actual cotton, this is polyester. They have oodles of them at Joann's Fabrics. Speaking of which, Mom has gotten into Kumihimo. That is fun. Looks fun. So you could look that up. Oh, and thank you to everyone who wrote about Alaska. How fun. I sent along the information about Mrs. Dilly Dally to Alexa. So Alexa, if you're out there, we'll be curious to hear if you found her. Although I believe you're in, oh, I don't know where you are. Fairbanks? Whistler? Okay. So for anyone who might not have watched last week, my niece, Alexa, our niece, Bob's and my niece, is living up in Cordova, Alaska now. And she has been traveling a little bit this Thanksgiving. I think maybe because she had a few days off. And we got to see a few Snapchats that she sent. So that was really fun. But we missed her at Thanksgiving, of course. And we're all bracing for Christmas. But, oh, and look at that. I blew the seam. So I'm not going to stuff that anymore. I'm going to leave it as is. Look at that. You know what that reminds me of? A turkey leg. Oh, we had 2 turkeys. Bob cooked up a storm as usual, and oh, they were so good. He brined them like he always does. I'm trying to think if he did, something different he did this year was he made Brussels sprouts on the grill with cubes of bacon and then a bourbon reduction sauce poured over them. And they were quite yummy. And you could kid yourself and pretend that you were eating vegetables when in fact the cubes of bacon were the size of the Brussels sprouts. Oh, so good. And everyone brought food. The cousins made their apple pies. I'm sure everyone has nice traditions. Or if you don't, I hope you're starting to build them. What the heck? You know, if there's one thing that I have been reminded of recently, just comes with age, I guess, is that we're all responsible for our own fun, right? And our own life. And sure, when you have a husband or a partner, you can lean on each other for entertainment and for life, but I think it's really important for each of us to have our own voice in this world. And I think that that's might be a generational thing. I don't think that, or I'm hoping that our kids are growing up to be independent. Okay, spending enough time on this. Okay, so there is, no, it's too squishy. For some dolls, I like them to be really stiff, and this is one of them. Other dolls you might want floppy, but I really like, especially if you're using cotton, so maybe not quite like with this satin, but I like a heavy doll. And I'm using these stuffing forks. If anyone needs stuffing forks, let me know. All right. This angel's been working out. Okay, there's that. Now let's fill her body. I already filled her bottom with little plastic pebbles so that she'll be posable. The body, I think we really want to try to stuff good and hard. And I'm a novice stuffer. There are ways to stuff that ensure that the outside is smooth and you don't have sort of lumps. If you're curious how to do that, Google it. I think it's something about sort of placing things, stuffing it in, placing the fibers around, and then when I stuff more fibers, try to stuff them in the middle and push the other fibers out. So you're sculpting, reverse sculpting. Speaking of which, I worked on my doll. It's my party doll today, a little bit. And I watched 2 movies. I watched actually 2 tech movies that I've been meaning to watch for years, really. I watched Social Network and I watched Steve Jobs. So it's a story about Facebook and Apple. I guess my interests aren't very wide, are they? Okay. Go. Getting there. I'm gonna have to start to sew this together. Ooh, who's that? Hello, Chris Myers, our talented sewer and general all-around awesome person. Chris made, what was it? Was it 20 or more Patriots neck warmers? Perfect for the game. Are you all going to go to the game on Christmas Eve? Okay. So we just keep stuffing. It really is worth it to take the time on this stuffing. I know it's not good pod. 22. Chris made 22 of those warmers. That is a lot. Way to go. And actually, Chris rehabbed a quilt for her niece that had been made by her niece's, I think, grandmother. So gave it a lot more life. Isn't that nice? That's like this tablecloth. I remember going to my grandmother's, and not that I have to rehab it or anything. It's great. In fact, Mom, maybe we'll use it next Thanksgiving, though it is Christmas, but it doesn't matter. But I remember as a kid playing with our Texaco trucks underneath this quilt tablecloth when it was on my grandmother's table. And in fact, my grandmother's table is right over there. That's a riot. Just realized that. So if you figure that was almost 50 years ago, so this might be a 50-year-old tablecloth. And that quilt was probably 50 or 40 or 30. Anyway, okay. So I know she looks a little funny. See how her shoulders are different? I personally don't mind that at all because whose shoulders really are perfect? I like funky figurines, but what we want to do now is I need to get my needle out and we need to sew that. Oops, and stuff it. But what I think I might do is I might sew her arms on first and her head. So let me get a needle. And I just heard a ding, but I don't see anyone on here. So 1 second. Okay, and my needle. Okay, and my scissors. So I know on the title of tonight's Fibercast, I made the comment about Black Friday and White Angel. The truth is, I did look at some Black Friday sales, but I did not venture out. I mean, how could I? I was busy watching movies, lying under a quilt, eating leftover turkey and pie. Then I took a ride with Bob, and then I worked on my doll, and I got ready for this angel. So that's what I've been doing. So what I'm doing now is I'm just sewing up the elbow of the arm. I'm using a ladder stitch, which I'm taking a little piece of one side. I folded under the pieces of the fabric, and I'm taking a little nip from each side of the fabric back and forth, working my thread up the side and creating a ladder type effect with the thread. And if you do that right, which I'm really not, because I'm not doing it small enough, but it's good enough for this, it becomes invisible. And in fact, I'm going to go back through here because I see a fair number of very open puckers. Good pod, huh? Oh, thank you all for being out there. I hope that you're working on something fun or just chillaxing. I hope you took time to remember what you're thankful for. And I'm not oblivious to the fact that sometimes it's harder than other times to find those things that we're thankful for, but really try. If I could just encourage everyone to just try, because and believe me, you all know I've been going through a company merger, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and working in high tech has never been that certain. So I live with a kind of constant nagging. Probably, if I'm being honest with myself, no, I can't even say the word, but it's, you know, you just have to find the joy and not talk about it. Okay, so there's my one arm. I like that arm. It has a lot of character. Quilts were so last week. Now we're making dolls. On our car ride with Bob, I of course tell him that I'm making an angel for Fibercast and I'm looking forward to it, and he's not having band, but he's downstairs playing with his guitar. Anyway, I talk all about that. Not an hour later, I'm downstairs with him. He says, so, what are you doing on Fibercast tonight? I'm making a doll. And do you know what I just realized? I forgot to turn on that light. So I'm going to go do that right now, okay? Because I'll be able to see better and you'll be able to see me better. And that's always a good thing. Hang on. Watch this. Ta-da! Okay. Woo! Hopefully you can see better. Okay. So here's one arm. And, oh, so what is an angel? An angel is a messenger, oftentimes depicted in the Bible as a messenger from God to earthly beings. It's a being. I'll read more about it. But I thought, since angel means messenger, I found this little charm, and it's a postcard charm. So I'm going to have the angel holding this postcard charm. I thought that would be cute. Let's read more about what is an angel. Most of them serve as intermediaries between heaven and earth, or as guardian spirits. They are studied in the theological doctrine of angelology. Okay, in Christian Science, the word angel is used to refer to an inspiration from God. Here is just a straight translation. Angel, a spiritual being believed to act as an attendant, agent, or messenger of God, conventionally represented in human form with wings and a long robe. Number two, so that's number one, it's a noun. Number 2 definition is a person of exemplary conduct or virtue. Women were then seen as angels. Okay. Let's read a little bit more. Okay. The truth about, this may cross into an area that I am not knowledgeable of to talk about. So let's see if we can. Okay. All right, let's go to Wikipedia, because that's always a good source. Crowdsourced definitions. Okay, this article is about the cosmic spirits. An angel, especially according to Abrahamic religions and Zoroastrianism, I don't know what that is a spiritual being superior to humans in power and intelligence. Angels are typically described as benevolent, dreadful, and endowed with wisdom and knowledge of earthly events, but not infallible. For they strive with each other, and God has to make peace between them. Most of them serve either as intermediaries between heaven and earth or as guardian spirits. They're studied, okay, so I said that in theological doctrine. Christian Science says the word angel is used to refer to an inspiration from God. The use of the term has extended to refer to artistic depictions of the spirits, and it's also used figuratively to refer to messengers and harbingers, and to people who possess high qualities of goodness, purity, selflessness, intelligence, and or beauty. Ah, that's nice. When someone's angelic, that's what they mean. Let's see. In fine art, angels are usually depicted as having the shape of human beings of extraordinary beauty. They are often identified using symbols of bird wings and halos and light. Okay, so that's good to know. Bird wings, halos, and light. So we've got the light going on here because she's going to be all white, which somehow I thought was symbolizing purity, which I haven't heard too much. I guess it could. See, so I'm just folding this down. I don't know if I told everyone, the reason I'm making this angel is our textile tarts are doing a swap. And Al, who's in our textile tarts group, found this free pattern and suggested that we all interpret it and make our own version. And then what we're going to do is at our December meeting, we all bring our angels in a bag and we trade them. And we have Christmas nosh. It'll be fun. In fact, we have a member of the Textile Tarts who is, and we have a Facebook group if anyone's interested. It's the Textile Tarts. Ask to join and you can come on in. We have members around the country, and one member in particular, Marcy, hi if you're out there, she's going to do this angel challenge, and I'm going to send her, she's going to send me her angel. I'm going to put it in a bag, bring it to the meeting, and then pick out an angel for her. It's just something fun to do, right? Okay. So we've looked up what angels are. I don't know if you noticed, but I went back and forth twice on both sides, and that did a pretty good job. Okay. How are your UFOs coming, everyone? Kelsey can be our inspiration. Okay, me see if this one I had a little blowout. So while I'm here, I'm going to fix it. And then we'll probably do the head and the arms onto the angel's body. Part of me wanted to mix things up because I found this fabric, which I just love. And I know that the fabric is way too big, those flowers, but the orange just went so well with that, the skin tone. So I kind of pictured maybe her wings could be that. I don't know. I've also got this from the bag that Jean and Kelsey gave me, and the vintage quilters. Our local football team didn't win, and my high school team didn't win either. Maxine, did you watch your grandsons play? I know a lot of you have been posting. You've been watching your kids play or your grandchildren. Another good tradition. We had 11 nieces and nephews here, none of whom ever played football, actually. They were more basketball players. It was really fun. So there are two left in high school. All the rest are either in college or graduated from college and have jobs. In fact, one of them, James, was the one who was married up in Amherst on September 30th. Remember that Friday night? I wasn't here. One of those Friday nights. And it was very cute. 10 of the nieces and nephews were here for dinner, which was wonderful. Can you imagine? And James, the newly married one, went to his wife's parents' house, and then he came over here for dessert. And so all 10 cousins were waiting. We had dinner, we had dessert, we watched football, we waited. And really we didn't have to wait that long, but it was so fun when they came. Okay, so this is going to be a muscular angel. This angel's been lifting weights. It's turkey. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's do the head, and then we're going to use these buttons to put the arms onto the angel. But first, so this is an unusual, well, no, it's not an unusual head, but I made it with 3 pieces, the front and then 2 pieces on the back, kind of like you would imagine sewing a lemon together, right? But I left an opening down at the bottom of the back because that needs to get into the neck. And then I'm going to fill it, and then I'm going to pull the head tight and then put the hair on top so you'll never see it. So that's what we'll do next. And hopefully I made the chin jut out enough, but it's not looking like it. We're really sculpting with fabric, you know, that's what it is. I'm going to turn this inside out and make a little more of a chin, just for kicks, since we can. And that might mean I might have to pull out a few stitches at the back of the head a little bit. This doll pattern strikes me as being a little bit more of a doll pattern from the 90s, when they didn't seem to be using the paper clay or even polymer clay like they do today. They really were making the heads and everything out of fabric. And then you can gesso the heads, you can put lots of medium on top and make them pretty darn stiff and then paint them. You know, in olden days, what they do, they filled them with, they made them out of fabric, filled them with sawdust, and then could paint them. Anyway, it's fun to do an old-fashioned. Hey, KB! KB's out there. She says she loves the round robin quilt. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Have you done a round robin lately? We did one years ago, didn't we? I remember the purple pansies. Beautiful quilt. Mom has that one, I think. We missed you, KB, at Thanksgiving. Ooh. Ooh, how fun. KB says, KB's my sister, for those of you who may not know, and she's in Pennsylvania. She says, she writes, and she's been working, by the way. She worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, had Thursday off, and she worked today. So good for you, KB, for getting in that studio. She says, I'm working on a fabric busy book for Jalisa for Christmas tonight. Aw, and Jalisa is her granddaughter. Oh, and she sent a picture. Oh, that's awesome. What is the Liam going to be doing? Can everyone see that? Wow. I love it. That looks really fun to make. Very neat. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but the head is on. And now there are a couple of things. We're going to use that ladder stitch again. In fact, I don't even need to pin this. Yes, I do. In fact, I should probably pin it and do a little stuffing. No. Let's just get our thread. Where did I put my... Here it is. See, the counter was white, and I couldn't find anything working on the white angel. That's why I went for this red tablecloth. KB, if you just tuned in, check out Mom's tablecloth. I found it downstairs in my drawer. Oh, people brought such good food yesterday, including homemade apple cranberry sauce. Heidi brought that, and I want to do that every year. It was delicious. She said it's really easy. You just put the bag of cranberries on the stove with some sugar, some water, some orange zest, an apple or two, and you cook it up. Oh, now what? That knot was not pulling through, so now what? It was a very good, very positive. So in theory, I should be doing the ladder stitch, which again is taking a little tuck of fabric from each side, and then ultimately pulling it taut so that it doesn't show. But this is such a little thing that it's more like I'm taking whip stitches. Oh, kind of. Hopefully we'll achieve the same thing. I'll get hidden. I love sewing. these figurines come to life. And I tend to be someone who isn't quite sure how they're going to look because I'm so new to it. And I've said this before, but I'm still really new to it. I made my first doll 3 years ago. And I guess the more you do it, the more you have a feel for what it's going to look like when it's done, but I am not there yet. I don't even know if this is going to be a boy or a girl angel. I'm assuming they can be either, right? Okay. So we have sewn the neck on. You might have to do a little lace there. That'd be pretty to have lace up in front of the head. Okay, so now I'm going to take the pins off. And hopefully you're getting things done there. Oh, I'll check my email. I'm sorry. Falling behind here. I'm wondering, this could be a design flaw. See how floppy that is? Before I go any further, I am going to cut the top, and I'm going to put another pipe cleaner down as far as I can. I'm going to shove it down there because I want more stability in the neck. I don't think we're going to regret this, but if we do, we'll just start over. Even if I don't get it down too far, ooh, but I am getting it down quite far. That's good. Okay. The reason why this is really good is I'm going to put a bead in there. No, that's too heavy. That's a marble. No, I'll just twist around like that. Not only will it give it stability in its neck, but it gives me something to hook inside the head, the halo to. And it'll just give it more stability. All right, so I'm twisting this around. I think that's what else I like about doll making. It's kind of like engineering. Okay, so now let's get her stuffed up. Well, half our viewers are asleep by now. Did you know that? I've been taking an informal survey, and I do have found that our viewers are usually asleep by 8:30, 8:45. So night-night. And, oh my goodness, where's the time going? Let me see who's out there. Man, this doll making takes time. Okay. Let's see who's out there. Oh, you are out there. Oh, Maureen in Pennsylvania, how cute. Maureen and her daughter are very good. They go to the gym, they do spinning, do all sorts of things. And she just wrote, she wished she had arms like my angel. Amen. Me too. Look at that. You could wear a sleeveless dress. That's cute, Maureen. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, and Carol over in Yorkshire. Carol says, hi, Lynn and Fibercasters. Hope you and all the American Fibercasters have had a good Thanksgiving. Thank you. She says, I have not had time to do much sewing, and so I'm still working on the purple table runner I showed you a couple of weeks ago. Carol says, I did buy new border fabric and used the fabric I planned as border for the backing. Way to go. I don't know if you've attached it. Oh, you did. Good. Oh, I love it. For those of you who might not have seen, oh, I love that. Carol sent me a picture of this border with this table runner with another border, and it was too pink, wasn't it? And it was too big for the border. I love what you picked. That's great. What else? So Carol says she used what she was going to use as a border on the back, so that's good. We didn't waste. She says, I've nearly finished the quilting, just the finishing and binding to do. Wow, you're fast. Good job. She says, you were just talking about not going out shopping even though it's Black Friday. She says, I also stayed in, but, I love this. She says, the internet and Missouri Star Quilt Company website can result in shopping. Yours, Carol, in England. Isn't that the truth? I didn't even check them today. I wonder if they have good sales. That's great. Thanks for sending the picture. Oh, good. Here's another one. Here's the backing so you can see what we're talking about. See how the backing is a very big print? Even though it does have some purple in it, I like that much better. Good job. Hey, Ben. Hi. She says, finally done. Now I'm cleaning up the sewing room to start on Christmas projects. I will check out the angel. Let's look. I'm downloading a picture. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. Can everyone see that? Oh, I hope that you have posted your finished product on the Simply Colorful Mystery Quilt Along. Oh my goodness, that is stunning. I like how you changed the pattern. Whoa. You have to load that on. And you have to tell us how that last row looks like Storm at Sea. Wow. Maybe you sent me a close-up, us a close-up. Just another one. Oh my goodness. I love it. Wow. Beautiful. And Sue, happy Thanksgiving. Sue says, I'm still plugging away on my Dear Jane. She said, you gave me a heart attack of envy, I must admit. So Sue started her Dear Jane. It hasn't been a year yet, probably. She says, I only have 22 more blocks to finish before I'm halfway done. LOL, she says, you got me. She says, hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with family. I have included a picture of the latest blocks I've finished. I hope to get a few more done this weekend, but we will see. I've started to do some Christmas shopping. I know. I'm downloading it now. Oh, I love those. Can everyone see those? Oh, I like those a lot. Now, let me see which ones they are. E10. Sue is so good. She marks every one of her Dear Jane items. This one is E10 5 and dime. And then this one is E11, the wagon wheel. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Well, hi. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Wendy, down under. Hi, Wendy. Hi, everyone there. She says, hello, Lynn. I'm rushing home to watch you now. Aw. Trying to get the last of the bits and pieces ready to go in the caravan tomorrow. She says, I have the binding ready to stitch on Luke's and our quilts to put in the van. Hope you all had a lovely Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for everything happening around me too. We will be free camping for the next 3 weeks, so I won't see you, I don't think. Nearly home, and Luke has you on for Crystal and I. Oh, have a great weekend, Wendy. Oh, hello, everyone, and enjoy your 3 weeks. If you find internet connection, send me an email at least and tell us how it's going, and we'll say hi. And we'll be here when you get back. Have a great time. Relax, enjoy, go where the wind blows you. Oh, that's wonderful. Dawn Stewart, award-winning author. Dawn says, happy holidays. Right back at you. She says, as soon as the turkey leftovers were put away, I put up the Christmas tree. I love this time of year, she says. Good for you. Yay. Why not? She says, well, she says, I'm not a fan of her Grand Illusion mystery that she's been finishing as a UFO. Oh, the piece sashing is way too busy for the block design, at least for my taste. So I'm modifying the setting. Good for you. You go, girl. She says, my sister-in-law took one look at the proposed piece sashing and agreed with a heartfelt, yuck, you can do better than that. Good for you. Did you see this, the last one that I showed you, the other mystery quilt? That is that. So is it Ben Pickle? Ben, I do not know you, but I really want to, you have to introduce yourself to us because that is amazing. And maybe, did you put black in between too? That is just awesome. Sorry, I got carried away. Dawn, I'm so glad you're out there. I'll see you on December 3rd at the Open Sew, I hope. Aw, and Joan on Patreon, she says that's going to look nice. Thank you, Joni. And thank you to all our Patreon subscribers. Oh, okay. So, click this. As Adam Carolla would say, we cannot do this without you. What this is, we're kind of defining on the fly too, right? All right, so how are we going to wrap this up? Uh-oh. How does that happen? I sound like a little kid. I didn't mean to sound silly like that, but I do see that it is 9 p.m. here in the East Coast. So clearly we're not going to finish our angel, but I will post a picture as always when it's done. And I once again, I thank you all. And we're going to do one more thing though, before I sign off. Thank you all for joining me and watching me and hopefully getting some inspiration, because I know you inspire me. Just those pictures alone tonight were enough to do it. So let's all keep getting creative. Even if you don't quite feel like it, go for it. That is the craziest looking angel head I've ever seen. Let's go look at a pretty picture. Time 100. We'll close out this Fibercast with the Time 100 picture. So if you go to 100photos.time.com, with 100 being 100, there are 100 photos of all time. And this one I wanted to share just because we have a lot to be thankful for. It's called Bricklayer by August Sander in 1928. And if this doesn't remind you how thankful we should be or how lucky and fortunate, I hope most of us here are. I hope all of us are. What am I saying? All of us. And those who aren't on and aren't as fortunate, we will help you. Bricklayer in 1928. There's a certain formulaic approach to August Sander's photography, but that was his aim. By presenting doctors, farmers, chefs, and beggars, all with the same stark directness, the German-born Sander made everyone the everyman, or every person now. He set out to show that there is much to learn from all layers of society, noting, we can tell from appearance the work someone does or does not do. We can read in his face whether he is happy or troubled. For life unavoidably leaves its trace there. Sander's most celebrated portrait of a bricklayer in Cologne, Germany, embodies that insight. For while the laborer's work entails toil and sweat, he maintains a proud bearing. The classical framing with the lines of the bricks evoking the lines of the bricklayer's vest reinforces the dignity of the subject, which was no small thing for a nation still reeling from the humiliation of World War I. Sander gathered bricklayer and his other portraits in the monumental People of the 20th Century, the first body of work to document a culture through photography. Sander's photographs celebrate the importance of the individual, elevating portraiture of ordinary people to art. And I'm going to show that to you again. So with that, again, 100photos.time.com. With that, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Fibercast. We've done a lot in 60 minutes. Most importantly, we've connected. So keep on doing what you're doing. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you here next Friday night at 8 p.m. Bye, everyone.